Alright, so today we are going to do some practice EOC questions, like right after bell work. We're going to finish yesterday's graph assignments, so there's 3 of them, and then we're going to practice slope, which is what we're doing right now on this bell work question. Like until for the rest of it.
Well, how are you going to pass it if you don't know how to do graphing?
It's just going to be kind of present, intermingled in the algebra. It's a good question. Alright, so this is a slope-intercept equation. Remember that the B is where you begin. You begin at whatever number is in this spot. And it's 0, B. Whatever that number is, it's a y-intercept. So it's on the y-axis. So I'll start my graph for this equation at 0, -3. I'm sorry, 0, -4.
What I missed, I'm still drawing my graph.
Okay. Me too, I'll go stop.
These kind of pictures I can draw.
Yeah. 108,000. Actually, it's mine.
Y equals mx plus b. Now plug in. Y equals 4 is automatic.
Liar. So that's each hour.
Oh, I got a bit of graph.
I'll get 25 million.
What?
That's not in my video game. Tony, what are you talking about? Not in real life. You know I get that bread.
Yeah.
They call me King Cheddar for all the bread.
Alright, so there's my first starting off point at 0, -4. So after you begin on the B value, you move the M value.
This is a linear equation.
We move whatever M is, and the movement you do is rise over run. So this 3 is like a 3/1. If there's no denominator, you put a 1 underneath it. So we're going to rise 3 and run 1, beginning at that -4. 1, 2, 3 over 1. 1, 2, 3 over 1. And when we talked about this, I said, it's great to go one way, but really, if you want to do a full advanced graph, you need to be able to copy the pattern going left. So I'll go, instead of up 3 over 1, I'm going to go down 3 and left 1. As long as it makes a straight line, you're good. So today's textbook work, our assignment at the end of class says textbook page capital R7. I'm sorry, capital R4. Those are pages in the back of the textbook. The capital R, I believe, stands for review. So it's like review pages at the end of the textbook. All right, before we look at yesterday's assignment, we have some EOC questions to do.
Ibby.
Was the classroom so quiet without me?
Oh, yeah, you're right. Jake. Stupid. Stupid Jake. I used to always do it. I just.
I think we're doing 3 problems here. So start with number 7.
Why is Tyler the only one with a cookout? Jake, you're right. And that was included.
Just to drown
still paying
Jake's voice
attention.
out.
We're trying to help the classroom out.
Should we call this number 3 and 4? Did you already call it 7 in your thing? No, that was just 1, 2, 3, and 4.
46, yeah.
I'll keep going if you
Where do you
recognize
put it?
that.
Oh, you play
You can't
regular?
see it? You should ask
I
like
practiced
put it
yesterday
this way.
with Chris.
Yeah.
So we're doing this problem now?
This is in week 5 of school G. If you want to get your device out and look at it closer, fine. But I'd rather you didn't
Device.
carry it
Let's
up
go. My device. Oh, it's in my pocket.
right now.
Pretzel's spinning because you both followed me.
That was such
What?
flabbergasting tomfoolery that
Pretzel's
Read the
spinning?
graph.
my
Read the graph.
topper.
What's pretzel?
Read the graph.
But I have no Wi-Fi.
What's it asking you to do? Use the graph to find the solutions of the equation F equals G. Explain how you found the solution. You've never seen a question like that before.
Not really.
It could be on your Bower quiz, but it's not.
I'm going to school G right now.
Read the question. Benjamin, think about it. They try to give you questions that you've never seen before. To see if you can use critical thinking to figure it out.
Oh, no, give him a name. Bum. I don't have any more paper.
Okay, I'd like you to find. Thank you. I don't like your name up top.
What the heck is
Alright, so first off, it's hard to see from your desk. What we have here are 2 types of equations. I'll point. What's this one called? This is a linear equation graphed right on top of a quadratic equation. So what we have here is a parabola and a line.
Ew. Parabolas.
A parabola and a line. And you guys can't see it, but the line is f of x and the parabola is g of x. Okay? So you could call the parabola George and the straight line Fred. F and G. Okay? Use the graphs to find when F and G equal each other, which means really, when do Frank, or did I say Fred? Fred. Wow. No, it's F and G. When do Fred and George meet?
Could have just did Frank.
When do Fred and George meet? There we go. Right here they meet up, which is at -2, 0. And right here they meet up, which is at 3, 5. I guess you can see that just fine.
It says explain how you found the situation. Just look at the graph.
Just look at the graph. Find points of intersection. So Tony's explanation, how do we find it? These are points of intersection.
I looked on the graph and found points of intersection.
Points of intersection show where equations are equal. This is an EOC question. They purposefully try to come up with questions that you've never seen before, just to see if you can use critical thinking to apply any of your knowledge and figure them out. So it doesn't have to be a parabola and a straight line. It could be two straight lines. It could be two parabolas. It could be a curve and a parabola. If you're asked to find where two equations meet or two graphs meet, it's just where they intersect each other. Identify the point. Done.
We have to write this down.
Yeah. These questions will be on your bell work quiz. These EOC questions, even though it's classwork.
We have to
Okay.
write the graph too.
You do not have to draw this graph. You can just really write what I wrote in orange. Orange is the solution.
Okay.
The points of intersection show where equations are equal and our points are -2, 0, and 3, 5.
Yeah. You just wrote the whole thing.
It is an easy question, but since you've never seen it before, you go blank, you don't know what to do. But
Points of intersection.
Number 8, identify 4 solutions.
Show when equation show what's the intersection? Show when
4 solutions.
For real?
Jacob, really off Okay, 4 solutions. So as soon as we have a student that comes up with 1, the rest of y'all will be able to come up with more. So it's all about figuring out our first one.
6, 10, 13, 14.
Some of those are right.
18.
Not all of them though.
104.
Let me give you a clue. Okay. No. Let me give you a clue.
You're stupid.
Your solutions will be
2.
an X, Y ordered pair.
No.
So as you're calling out numbers, you're missing. It has to be 2 numbers together that work.
Brilliant.
Do 2 and 4 work?
Yes.
2 and 4, I believe will work. Let's test Kalia's. We're gonna test 2, 4 into the equation. And 2 is the X, and 4 is the Y. Does 4 equal 2 to the second power? Does 4 equal 4? Yes, it does. Kalia came up with 1 solution. We need 3 more.
I think I broke my pinky.
What?
Kidding. I didn't because I'm professional.
Mikhail? What is it?
Will, you freaking texted me
No.
something.
Good try though.
Miss Baldwin. Look
You're
at this.
thinking.
Miss Baldwin. Will texted me. Will texted me. I was showing you that Will texted me. Will texted me. He distracted me.
Look at this equation. If I plug in, Ben's got one. 2 and 1. 2 and 1 work. Good job. All right. So our next one, you said Y is 2 and X is 1. So our ordered pair would be 1, 2. This is X and this is Y. So that would be, does 2 equal 2 to the first? Does 2 equal 2? Yes, it does. You guys got to come up with 2 more points that work.
2 and -1.
Just quietly do it, guys. Give everybody a minute to think and quiet. Hey, Maurice, you got it? You got it? You got it? Do 3 and 8 work. This is X and this is Y. Does 8 equal 2 to the third? Yes, it does. We've come up
2
with
and
3.
2 times 2 times 2 is
Infinity solutions. We need 1 more. Somebody else who hasn't given one yet. 4 and 16. Does 16 equal 2 to the 4th? Yes, it does. You guys, what would 5 go with? Anybody?
Huh?
5, comma 32, 6, comma 64, 7, comma 128.
How do you know that?
Thomas, what would negative 1 be? Can we go negative? You said infinite. Does that include negative?
No.
No negative numbers, Thomas.
Yeah. So if I put 2 to the negative 1 in, I would get 1/2 out. So you can do negative.
Do that, right, Thomas?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so that's our answer for letter A. You're just figuring out, how to make x and y true, in the equation. Letter B says, what is the relationship between the set of all solutions, which there's infinity ordered pairs that work here, and the graph? So what does the graph of this look like?
Go ahead and do it for us.
What does the graph of this look like, and how do these x and y ordered pairs show up on the graph? Well, guys, what type of an equation is this?
Exponential.
This is an exponential.
Yeah. So if we were to graph an exponential equation, we would do this.
Ain't no one else answered.
So this would be 2 to the negative 2, which is 1/4, 2 to the negative 1, which is 1/2, 2 to the 0, which is 1, 2 to the first, which is 2, and 2 squared, which is 4. So if I was to graph this, I would use these ordered pairs. And what do exponential graphs look like? Is it a full parabola? No. Is it a straight line?
No.
No. It's a half curve. So this is our graph. So how are the 4 ordered pairs that we came up with related to this graph? They're all the points on the graph. Okay. Solutions that make an equation true are the points on the graph. Okay, so let's write that in a complete sentence. Zoom out on my screen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why did you say every twice?
Just a moment. Okay, so XY solutions that make an equation true are points on the graph of the equation. Do you feel like you knew that before? Yeah. Raise your hand if you feel like you already knew that the x and y that make the equation true would show up on the graph. Anybody? Anybody made that connection before? Okay. So if you can logically come up with, and if x is an exponent, start with 1. If I put a 1 in here, I get a 2 out, and that's this one. If I put a 2 in here, I get a 4 out. That's the first one we kind of fell upon. If I put a 3 in there, I get an 8 out. Anything that makes that true is going to show up. And it doesn't matter. This could be a quadratic, it could be linear, it could be any kind of graph. If it makes the equation true, it'll be right on the graph. The graph is a visual representation of all the solutions of an equation. Okay. So now number 9. Solve the quadratic equation using the method of your choice. You're gonna have to use the quadratic formula on both of those. Let's just do one.
Let's do A.
Yeah. Alright, I'm not gonna do it until I see that one person in every group has written the formula down.
It's y equals b plus minus
Y equals what?
b plus minus.
I think it's X equals something. No,
And Mikhail, it's not negative. It's negative b plus minus.
is it Y or is it X? Okay. I told. Shut up.
Yeah, everyone does this up as a team.
Yeah, right.
As a leader. Maybe even a father.
X equals negative B. Negative B plus minus
Tony always
something.
has.
Tyler, why are you praying to the sky?
Praying to me.
Here it comes. You gonna group have it down?
Yeah.
I just forgot
This group has the quadratic formula right. Who remembered it, or did you look it up? Okay, very good.
I forgot the stuff that's in the square root. What's in the square root?
Yes, we're doing A, right?
This group has the quadratic formula down right.
Just come look at us. Zach, what is that?
Who's got it in this group?
Benjamin.
This group's got the formula. Sure,
Wait, why are you doing it? We're supposed to be doing it right now. It's negative B, by the way. I know. Why did you say B?
Got the formula right.
It goes over here. No, it's supposed to be negative B and that. Come on.
Alright, this group's got the formula.
We gotta plug in.
I give you that. What did you really worship? Yes, what did you worship?
A equals. Is A equal 8 or does it equal 2
Finish the good answers.
We got answers. I haven't checked every group yet, so just a moment.
You got 2 points? I got
I forgot what to do.
Tyler, you sit down. You sit one down. Stop talking.
Oh, why is it up here?
Yes. In my book.
Alright, really good. I'm
24.25.
happy with the number of people who knew the formula.
Tony, stop talking. Thank you. Bro, you can just say it like 1 second. Leah, you're not funny. I don't see anyone laughing but yourself. Now even yourself is fake laughing. That's how you know it's not funny. Isn't that right, Tony?
What?
It's not
Ever.
I'm gonna pull his curls out while he's sleeping and make his hair straight.
That was funny.
Benjamin, what's 17 times 17?
Tony, you know what? I'm done with you. It's negative.
No, it's not.
No, you say 17.
Oh shoot, I did it right.
You skip the negative.
Miss,
Oh, but it comes out
I did
positive.
it right, miss.
Alright, what is 289 minus 64? What's the square root of 225?
That's
And then after you're able to square root and we didn't have to use a decimal, that's very cool. After you're able to do that, we're going to separate.
you did it 1 second. I gotta use my tool, bro.
What?
1 second.
That's 1/2, right? Or wait, you don't. Oh yeah.
Alright, raise your hand if you got it right all by yourself.
Yes.
Really good, really good. Okay. Alright, let's take a look at yesterday's assignment. That's it for EOC questions. Let's see yesterday's assignment.
I actually did yesterday's assignment.
Jake, are you on? You did really good at the beginning of class. You were keeping your comments every other couple of minutes, and now they're just write it back. What's your question, Patrick? Sometime between May 9th and the 13th. They said they're gonna let me know this week. Alright, alright, so here's the linear graph that we did in class yesterday, yes or no? Now here's the exponential graph we did yesterday, but I don't believe I showed a picture of it, yes or no? Alright, so as I walk around, I'm looking for this graph for credit.
I did number 2. I don't remember how to count that.
Let's go.
Oh, let's go! I'm so good looking at it. I did it.
I tried to make a 3.
I have that graph.
I'm so proud of myself on how I
Did you
accomplished
get it right, Will?
I accomplished.
Did you get it right, Will?
Alright, you guys, so this exponential function is actually the same one I graphed right here just now. It's y equals 2 to the x. What's the difference between the one I graphed here and the one I assigned you yesterday?
It's more high.
How much more?
3.
It's 3 units higher. Okay, because of the plus 3 at the end. Anytime they put a plus or a minus at the end of this thing, it just moves it up or down, right? So this is like the parent function, and this one's like up 3. All right, let's look at number 3. Do you know? Can you identify what you did wrong?
Not doing anything.
You're definitely not.
I'm not.
Why is there a hard
You guys be quiet. Lauren? Yes. All right, so here we go. I'm taking the x out of the equation, and I am putting each of these values in the table n. Well, you guys did this for homework, right?
Yeah. He's bluffing, yo.
So here's the ordered pairs: -2, 11, -1, 5, 0, 3, 1, 5, and 2, 11. If you got the top half of the table wrong, it's probably because of the negatives. So right now you have three things on your paper. You have a linear graph, an exponential graph, and a parabola, a quadratic graph. All side by side. So we spent a long time separately learning each of those graphs. If you can produce those side by side, that shows a full comprehension. Okay. As I'm walking around, I have a pretty important question. Hayden, see if you're working it.
Give me a mess.
Yeah, every time you slide me, I have a lot of sunburn. What would Buzz Lightyear do? You would do a lot more. Isn't that right, Mikhail? Probably 2 hours a day.
What did you say, Tony?
You just busted in what?
Oh, Mr. Checker works. I think I did pretty good.
It might be like
I worked super hard.
No, 7 plus 7, which is 7 is a school day, 7 is a
we get out of
Okay, so what point do all three graphs? They don't all have that in common. Never mind. All right. Any questions, comments, or concerns? So, which graph? Who likes the linear graph the best? Raise your hand. Who likes the exponential half curve best? Raise your hand. And who likes the parabola best? Raise your hand. Okay. Very cool. Okay. So they all have this point in common, but they all are shifted up 3. Does anybody see the linear equation being shifted up 3? If the +3 wasn't there in the linear equation, it would go through at 0. So it is up 3. That one is definitely up 3, and this one's also up 3. So that +3 at the end, if it's a constant, will shift any parent function up 3.
We'll set that one's up.
This one.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, the intercept is up 4, but it bottoms out at the asymptote is 3. But I see what you're saying. All right, guys. So that's it. So let's open our textbooks to the back of the book. Capital R4.
What?
If you don't have a textbook at home, make sure that you write these problems down.
No, I have a textbook. I can't even access my textbook because it's kind of stuck. Well, if it could be put in, it could be taken out.
Yeah, I didn't want to do that.
My textbook was stuck. And I was like, oh, I can get it out.
Capital R4 it looks like this.
It's all the way in the back of the book?
Yeah, all the way to the end. The pages are blue.
R4.
Like 1 through 7.
1 through 7, page R4.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys already do R4 or is
This is first moment right here.
the slope is 6 learners write an equation. So x versus y equals 6 x. Then graph the equation. Are you kidding me? I know, but I don't feel like writing a graph. I don't feel like writing a graph.
This entire review is focusing just on slope intercept form. So if you want to like write that at the top of your paper, the whole thing is y equals mx plus b. So recurrence equation. You have to write the equation and you have to graph it. That's why we did the bell repeated. Yeah, it says write an equation in slope intercept form, then graph. To be honest, I really don't want you guys doing this for homework.
Bet. That's fine. But I still got homework to do.
Yes, I agree with you, honestly.
I very, very, very much do not want you guys just looking at the answers and copying this. Would be a waste of time. So whatever's not done in class, we'll just do tomorrow in class. Okay? Don't do it for homework, you guys. Don't do this outside of this room. I want you to actually work on it.
It's honestly not even that hard.
You don't have to make a table. Honestly, with straight lines, it's easier not to make a table. You can use the slope and intercept. On bell work, on this graph, I did not make a table. I started here and I did rise over run. So don't make a table, do rise over run. And don't do this for homework. Do it in class.
Okay.
Hmm? You already made a graph? You only did one question.
2 points? No, this one too.
Yeah, come on now.
Thank you.
Thank you, management.
Oh, you said 2 points because 6 is so high. Okay. 4 is too much. That was wrong.
Alex, take your headphones out. You can't even hear us.
It's something that's really cool.
Alright, 3's good. 3 points is good. Sorry. 4 is too much. I know. I didn't think about it being 6. Like, that would be really high.
What we do?
How come Tyler is allowed to have
3 points is enough, you guys.
I did 4 points.
Okay, that's great. I mean, 4 is great, but I can see how that makes a very large drop.
No, that's more than.
What happened?
I get it.
Oh.
Wait, you have hope or do you have tape?
How do you do the right?